we would do testing on a very famous app, and I would try to break the logic of it. And the app name is LMK. It's a very good social media app, and it's for the interaction. And it says LMK won't work on your device. Let me get the latest emulator working, or we can download its APK from here. LMK APK. I won't be reporting it anywhere. I won't be reporting the bugs anywhere. I would just find as much as bugs I can find on this particular application. It, it's a XAPK file, but we want a APK. I guess it's XAPK again. So I need to download the latest emulator. On that, I guess it would show up. By the time I would continue exploring the APK file if I can get it. XAPKs are not easily downloadable, that's why I'm restraining from that. Okay, it's now downloading the APK file. Our purpose is solved. You would close this emulator. I won't be doing static analysis because you know what exactly we look in for the static analysis. We would directly begin with the dynamic analysis. Once the application is downloaded, then we would start testing. And this is a paid app if I'm not wrong, and there would be much of the features which we can abuse, and I won't say the app names which are similar to it, and you can abuse that, you know for what purpose you can do that, and you can enjoy the premium for free. There would be a lot of features. I don't know if I would be able to crack this application and hack it or abuse it, but yeah, I have a bit of faith in myself, so yeah. All right, it's downloaded, and I would send it to the mob folder. One second. I would send it to the mob folder, and then we would begin our analysis. All right, it's in here. Now I would run up the emulator. Try running the latest emulator so that nothing crashes. Okay, it's nice and running. So I would drag and drop the application right here. And see if it works or not. Then we would do the other things. Hopefully it should get stable. If it's not, it would be really a mess for us. Let's wait. Okay, it's running perfectly. It's running damn perfectly. uh Now what we would do, I would first run this particular thing as root adb shell cd data local temp, run this particular thing, and Then what you need to do is write here Frida minus u minus f. Obvious the package name of this particular app, you can get the package name from here. Minus L for the script. Before running on next, do a few things. Just see if the proxy is nice and running. 8082. It's running. Success. Now click on enter. It started intercepting the traffic, but right now no traffic is captured from the app. We are waiting for the traffic to arrive from the app, then only we can say that we have successfully done the SSL pinning bypass. Till then we can't say much. Yeah, we got, from that you can see the authentication is going on. It would show a sign up page. After all these things, we would start. So there are multiple ways of logging in. I would use this particular option to log in. I choose here India and I am writing my company's number to verify. Now you would see these informations in plain text going on over here. Firstly, it says country code, phone number. If I see the response to this request, it says 202 accepted. That means you can use this code. Now from the backend I got the code. If I fill the code over here 5285, see very clearly the code is over here 5285. I want to see how the verification process is going in. It gives me a access token with ID, the phone number, the first name, the profile URL, and everything. If I only take the JWT ID into consideration, I can analyze what exact things are being stored over here. If you see over here, it only has my number, the user ID, and the signature is not verified. That means I can try editing it. If I write 60668080, I'm using alternate number. If I try dropping this over here, most probably it should give an error because we manipulated the JWT token. But it's not. If I click on resend code, over here the code is not getting reflected. You can see that over here the code is not getting reflected. That means there's no chance for us to see the code or guess the code. But one thing which comes up to mind is that if there is lack of rate limiting on this, if I write the code as 111, take this request to intruder, and I try a random combination of codes, means let me try 30 or 40 OTPs to see how it reacts. And my original code is 3587. So if I start from 3570 till 3600, I'm trying 31 codes and I need to see how exactly it responds on wrong OTPs. My right OTP was 3587. उस पर you saw ना guys how it reacted. मतलब we can brute force any OTP ना, हम किसी का भी मोबाइल नंबर से अकाउंट बना सकते हैं. आप समझ में आई क्रिटिकलिटी. if I can make an account with anyone's phone number, so I can do anything. I moved that request further and मेरे को बस वो कोड दोबारा से बढ़ना है. That's all. If I write over here 3587, it would log me in most probably. Interesting, guys. Now let's redo this process. What I would do this time, I would hack a number which is not in my direct control. Finding it interesting, guys? Just let me know because I wanted to know. Arjun and Gaurav, finding interesting? I would use a number which I don't have access to, and then I would create an account using that. You can see how bad it is for the company's perspective that they have left such bugs in there. Now, the OTP is of 4 characters. That means it can range from 000. अरे एक बार तो टेस्ट अकाउंट बनाना ही पड़ेगा ना गौरव. टेस्ट अकाउंट से आपको पता लग जाएगा हाउ एग्जैक्टली इट्स बिहेविंग एंड यू आर गुड टू गो. अब इन दिस केस द इशू वी आर फेसिंग इज उसने वो ऐप कुकीज में स्टोर कर लिया है वो डाटा. तो वट वी जस्ट नीड टू क्लियर द डेटा एंड आई वोंट रिपोर्ट अनलेस एंड अनटिल आई वेरीफाइड. बिकॉज हो सकता है वो 100-200 OTPs तक एरर ना दे, बट आफ्टर 100-200 OTPs इट माइट स्टार्ट गिविंग एरर्स कि वो वैसे काम ना करे. So yeah, you should always test very thoroughly. Just don't be in a fussle that yeah we need to do that. ऐसे नहीं होती testing, guys. Because if you are reporting something, you should be not 100, you should be 200% sure. Yeah. Let's wait for that to pop up again, and I would just try on any random number, or let's try on my friend's number. मेरे मेल फ्रेंड का नंबर है 0. You can contact him, guys. Make him worry. All right, so the OTP is sent. Now I am entering OTP as 000000, and it could reach up to 999 ना. Right, guys? Making sense? 4 digit का OTP है, मैक्स 00 से शुरू होके 999 तक ही जा सकता है ना. I would verification code over here, payloads, numbers, and I would choose from 000 to 999. Hardly it would take 5 minutes, but if I increase the speed it would take lesser time. But most probably हो सकता है we might get blocked. I am not sure होंगे या नहीं होंगे. Till now we are not getting blocked, but all this would make sense if the right OTP gets hit. अब इस केस में we are not aware about the right OTP. हमें सिर्फ ये status length से filter out करना है. If the status length gets changed in any case, then only it's right. We need to wait 5-10 minutes to see if this thing is working properly or not. In general cases now you start getting 4 to 9 rate limits, and you can use more threads. Even you can use 500 threads even to that particular thing if your GPU supports that. For example, mera GPU supports a lot of threads. I can even give 999 threads. 1000 से ऊपर ज़्यादा नहीं दे सकते. So it would speed up your process of cracking the OTPs. See? But it can trigger the rate limit also. ये भी ध्यान रखना कि वो प्रोसेस तो स्पीड अप कर देगा, बट इट कैन ट्रिगर द रेट लिमिट ऑल्सो. Sometimes it do that. So we are waiting for the right status code. If we can crack that, अगर इस प्रोसेस से वो क्रैक नहीं होता, then the bug makes no sense. In every response it's saying invalidation code, but it's not saying anything else. Let's wait for the results. There was a bug in Facebook. It was a P1 bug. I was reading a report. It was some sort of similar bug where you can crack the OTP to create account with any number. Over here don't see any 200 response. Agar after completing all 10,000 combinations it still says that yeah it's not valid, so it won't make sense. Because hacker के पास तो वो रेंज नहीं होगी ना कि in what range the OTP would be falling. I don't think so कि it would crack. बाकी let's wait. Because after these much combinations कहीं ना कहीं तो OTP होना चाहिए था. There might be a backend limit guys कि backend से it prevented the this particular attack. Backend से it prevented this particular attack and we were not able to do that. I बस just बता रहा हूँ कि वो maybe 20-30 OTPs पे it's fine, but in this process it's not fine at all, right? Now let's log in using our own number only so that we can test another functionalities. It would send me the OTP again most probably. यार OTP भी send नहीं किया. Let me use the old OTP. It's working fine for us. Now over here it says get user with extra true. Now you should analyze every request, that what's going on in every request. Mobile page is very important. You can just clear this HTTP history and analyze every request very carefully. Because यहाँ से बहुत bugs निकल के आएंगे guys. It's asking for my first name. If instead of my first name I give like this 7 multiplied by 7. Let me open my SQL map too. Let me open my SQL map too. Let's take things on different scale today. The main hardest part is SQL SSL pinning bypass. If you have done that, rest the testing is normal. Usme there's nothing much technical. But yeah, obvious your brain should be technical enough to do things. That's obvious. if if you are randomly testing on any company and you need to convince them on any aspect, always try to do bugs which is against their functionality. They would be much interested in that. कई बार होता है the companies don't have bug bounty programs, but you do some sort of stuff. For example, this is a put request. On put request SQL injection is not possible. If you try to convert it into post, it says method not allowed. If you write over here get, it gets the profile of that particular user, but it won't help us much. If instead of this particular thing put on put, that particular thing doesn't work, the SQL injection doesn't work, and it put the first name as we give it, then a thing came up to my mind. If I gather, just keep that request with you, I would tell afterwards what you can do with that. Then this is our user ID. Capture this request. Every request you see would can be of potential interest of you, just keep it. Over here requests like these could be of sense to I would analyze all these requests once I see this particular thing. Now this is it's communicating with the Firebase URL. who basically run the app and everything. That communication is going on. All these requests would keep coming unless and until you fill this particular thing. So yeah, mail 0527, because it's a widget, so it would keep coming. I click on next, I click on confirm. Another request would come up for choosing the avatar. I click on yes. It would ask me for my interests. I would choose any two and let it go. It's not loading. Let's go back. Click on next. Sometimes things don't load on the very first time in mobile apps. My age is 21. अरे कुछ भी guys झूठ मूठ भी भर देना, it doesn't bother that app. So over here it collected all the information where it says avatar file over here, and then category ID, mini onboarding, profile message, ID number, and a lot of things. Just store it. Portfolio request, but it won't be much of use to us, but yeah, store it. It says to upload an image. I won't upload any image. I agree. Now here's an option of gems, and there's a feature to claim the diamond. If I click on claim, it says post user journey mark completed with zero number, right? With zero number, and I guess this particular request would give us one gem, है ना? Completed at one, and yeah, it would give us a gem. Now technically I can't collect the gems of another days. I can't collect this gem na, but I have this request over here. If I click journey 1, means this would be this na, day 2 would be journey 1. Does my gems get increased? Yes guys, who increase? Yes or no? Who increase? कर दिया हैक? I am good na? Then again I write journey 1, it doesn't work. Means one thing is meant to be redeemed only one time. If I write journey 2, it might add more gems, right? Write journey 3, add on it more gems. Journey 4, अब journey 4 पे it didn't added anything. It means that there is something कि journey 4 पे there are no rewards. ये मतलब हुआ ना कि journey 4 पे there is some sort of reward error. If you write journey 5, does it add any gem? It adds 31 gems. If you write journey 6, इस पे didn't added anything. Journey 7, now it's not adding gems. Now the request we captured earlier, this is of no request for the authentication. I'm testing for SQL injections if I can get it. Now if you go over here, can you edit your first name and everything? You can do that, but over here you can see there's a no option to change your phone number. But if I take this request over here, put it up like this somewhat, like this. You should know basic syntax making for this process. That phone number, just randomly give this request. It says 200. Okay. If I edit the number, most probably it would not work because these numbers are controlled by the JWT token itself. See, अभी भी number तो वही आ रहा है. But you can test things like these. My purpose of saying is that you can test these things. सर इससे यूज़ करते हैं डायमंड या फिर बस हमें ही शो हो रहा है? नहीं नहीं भाई, यूज़ कर सकते हैं, क्यों नहीं कर सकते? इट्स नॉट अ फ्रंट एंड आर्टिफैक्ट. बताओ क्या, कहाँ, किसको बांटना है गिफ्ट? फॉर श्योर वी कैन यूज़ इट. फॉर एग्जाम्पल दिस इज़ अ डेटिंग ऐप गाइस. सो यहाँ पे यूज़ करके देख लेते हैं. अरे यार, वी नीड टू ऐड फोटोज. अब आई डोंट हैव एनी फोटोज. ये यूज़ तो गाइस फॉर श्योर कर सकते हैं. हाँ मतलब वो फोटोज क्रिएट करनी पड़ेंगी, बट आई डोंट वांट टू यूज़ दैट. तो ये वाली ऑप्शन इज नो सेंस टू अस. ये भी नहीं. ओवर हियर इट वी हैव द यूजर आईडी of us, from where we can see a lot of things. If instead of this user id I put a colon, it says internal server error and it gave me a java error, right? If I copy this entire thing, for example I do like this, I copy this particular request, put it in here and marked asterisk on it, means a star on it, and I use it with SQL map. SQL map minus R. They say we found a asterisk on this particular thing. Do you want to continue? If there would be any chances of SQL injection, na, it would tell us. But over here, it's not possible to do that because it when we modify the information, it shows something else. See, now it's running. But when I manually did that, it showed the 500 internal server error, whereas it should show some other sort of error. Let's see what would be the results of this particular thing. If there would be any chances of SQL injection, it would for sure tell us. By the time, let's do another things. Let's see this request here. There is a number element as page. If we put a comma over here, it says no path, failed to convert value over here. If I write page 1, okay, you can try over here as well. Let's create another file. So you can test any payloads, guys, but you need to be very specific on what you are testing. In this case, I don't believe there would be any SQL injection found. Yeah. Generally, the SQL injection is on the parameters like user ID, which is relevant to the backend in most cases. Not always, but yeah, in most cases. It's doing its work. Till then, we can see another things. Here, there is an access token, no use to us. Then, this particular thing where there is an option for age. If I try putting an asterisk over here, like a colon over here, how would it react? It's not allowing. It says cannot patch the user. Okay. Let's see another endpoints which might be of use to us. Here there is an ID endpoint. ID endpoints are mostly vulnerable to SQL injections. Not always, but yeah, according to my experience. But you need to modify it in some ways. Like if I take this request, for example, people are wild in this app. A person named Babar has created a room and the room name is Please Aja. कहाँ ये नहीं पता. Peop- Another room name is धोखा. फ्री लोगों की भी कोई हद नहीं है वैसे. सिर्फ इसने लिखा है आजा वेयर डोंट नो. यार it's a put method so I don't believe it would work much because it doesn't run with that. Now let me use Gauri. It's a tool and you can use that. It's equally good as SQL, but its exploitation is, according to me, its exploitation is personally good than that. See, now it clearly detected that you have given the JSON ID as the parameter where you need to give the injection. That's the speciality of Gauri. It clearly detects where I want the injections to be done and it would target that endpoint only. By the time it's doing its work, we can see if there is any injection on this endpoint, the journey endpoint. बिकॉज बैक एंड पे तो इसका भी कुछ ना कुछ लॉजिक तो होगा ना गाइस फॉर श्योर. सो वी शुड टेस्ट इट एज वेल. Everything which is dealing in some way or another, it has a link to the backend, and if it has a link to the backend, it would have some chances of SQL injections. Now over here it didn't work because it wasn't working properly. Now the reason why it's not working properly is, I guess, missing integer value, because there wasn't any value over there. And sometimes this Gauri also gives false positives, rarely, but yeah, it gives. So yeah, just manually verify things. No, it's not working on this. Let it run on this endpoint only. Now let's explore another things to find potential bugs in here. Now here's an option to change the name. If I write bing.com, save, it would be a put request where it says first name bing.com. This request could not be like इस पे CSRF नहीं हो पाता, and if CSRF is not possible, the severity is low. Now over here, is there any option of gems की option है कहीं पे guys? हाँ gems की option तो है. And this thing is like somewhat like this wallet gems. If I try modifying this request a bit, for example, I take this request, मैंने request ले लिया, then I do like this wallet gems 31. I need to see how the syntax behaves. Okay, I made some error in this particular syntax. I need to find that error. Nah, okay. Here it is 31. If I do it 32, would it change? I guess not. 31 ही है guys, 32 हुआ नहीं. That means it's not accessible from this endpoint. Then you can't change the gender once it cannot be changed. It says you can't change the gender. एक बार change कर दिया तो कर दिया. Okay. If I see what's the request of the gender over here, gender. It says gender male. Fine. If I cancel this request, I put it over here, put the curly braces right here, and if I convert it female, let it go. अब इसने क्या दिया, जेंडर लॉक्ड एक्सेप्शन. जेंडर लॉक्ड एक्सेप्शन मतलब यहाँ से भी एक बार चूज कर लिया तो वो नहीं चल सकता. दैट मीन्स द वेबसाइट इज सिक्योर ऑन दिस परस्पेक्टिव. अगर यहाँ पे फीमेल हो जाता, इट वुड बी अ बग. गॉट इट गाइस? Then birthday date, it cannot be changed. Then there are swipe settings. Show my posts, I want show post is false. These are simple true false endpoints. इसमें there won't be much to test, to be honest. Then there is my premium thing. It would be linked to the Play Store. FAQs. Okay, let's explore the functionalities in here. Now here's a chat option, and it's like a demo chat feature. If I click over here, I click on hello. For example, I'm entering hello. I'm just testing features guys. मैं सच्ची मैसेज नहीं कर रहा. एंड चैट बॉट है ये. ओके, जस्ट डोंट गेट सेंटी सर मैसेज कर रहे हैं. आई एम जस्ट टेस्टिंग. So this, see, it works. It goes like some sort of socket where it says content is hello, and it's not like a proper post request. बस एक socket के जैसे everything is going in and the message is dropped. इसमें तो there is nothing technical. Now over here I can gift to this particular chatbot. If I click on lollipop, I want to gift a lollipop. खा लेगी बेचारी. If I do like this, I don't see a request. किया तो lollipop select, देने नहीं दे रहा. आई गेस वो ऑप्शन स्लो ना हो. Here's an option to follow as well. I would click on follow. Here there is follower ID as well. मैं just ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा रिक्वेस्ट को समझने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कि how exactly this thing is working. अब वो तो वर्किंग तो तभी समझ में आएगी ना guys when we would explore. अब instead of this follower ID I give this, it would show an error. It gives no content. अभी यहाँ पे it says 62 followers. If I do it again, it's still 62. If I change the id a bit, would it make a difference? क्या फॉलोअर बढ़ेंगे उसके? No. It verifies that how exactly everything is working. Instead of this I user id, I put it in here. Hello. This is pretty much secure web application and it's still testing. I don't think that it would find anything. Then if I go in here and if I click on report content, for example, I want to report the content of this particular person, and if I say harassment and if I write totally testing, for example, testing, and if I click on submit, so we can do spam reports, item id, reason, reporter id, violator id. Okay, अब if I take this request over here, response to this request, अब वो यहाँ से वो चीज़ रिमूव हो गई है. That means I have reported this thing once. If I do it multiple times, हो सकता है उस इंसान का अकाउंट ही बैन हो जाए. We can do that easily. So these all are the bugs. Now over here it says RJ Jannat with Abhishek Kesharani by Friends app. I want to like this particular post. I click on like, post Sydney likes. I take this request to repeater. मैंने like कर दिया, 7 likes हो गया. एंटर इट अगेन. क्या 7 के 8 likes हो जाएंगे? आई गेस नो. अगर 7 के 8 likes होने लग जाएं, so that would be a rate limit 2. Lack of rate limit 2. Now if I am trying to post a comment out here and if I write hello, मैं गाइस पहले ना मैं डिलीट करके जाऊंगा, टू वेरी ऑनेस्ट. मैं ही ऐप डिलीट करके फिर ही बंद करना. आई राइट ओवर hello. If instead of hello I give this colon, तो आई गेस मल्टीपल कमेंट्स बनने लग जाएंगे या वही वाला कंटेंट एडिट होगा? नहीं, सी मल्टीपल बनने लग गए. यू कैन अब्यूज दिस पर्टिकुलर फंक्शनैलिटी टू if you use the method delete. Now I can abuse this particular endpoint somehow. I personally think that. For example, I create a post. Let's say I create a post. Hello, कैसे हैं आप लोग, ये वो. Hello post create करी. It's a right hello description. Response. It would give me a post ID like this. All right. It gave me a post ID and I would store it somewhere. Notepad. Yep, I stored it in here. My post is created. Now if I want to delete this post, for example, is there an option to create this delete this post? Huh. I have this option to delete this post. I would write delete my post. Delete. Now it contains delete the post ID and it would be deleted. Simple. Now this was the same post ID 26A92AA1C2. Right. Now this is the post ID of that particular user. If I put that post ID over here, it says 204 no content. देखें उनकी पोस्ट डिलीट हुई. क्या नाम था उनका, जन्नत ना? यार लेट्स टेस्ट ऑन इट, लेट्स टेस्ट ऑन दिस पर्टिकुलर पर्सन सो दैट वी कैन सी। पहले ना फॉलो कर लेते हैं गाइस, सो दैट वी कैन सी कि वो डिलीट हुई नहीं हुई। इफ वी कैन डिलीट दैट, it would be gone. I need to just have the post ID of that particular thing. यार रिपोर्ट ना करूं यार, क्यों मेरे लिए उड़ जाएगी फिर, वो दिखेगी नहीं। जस्ट लेट मी गेट द पोस्ट आईडी ऑफ दिस भाई, ही इज लुकिंग वेरी हैंडसम। लाइक करते हैं इनकी फोटो पंकज बाबू जी की, फिर इनकी पोस्ट उड़ा के देखते हैं उड़ती है कि नहीं। सो दिस इज द पोस्ट आईडी ऑफ हिम। आई ड्रॉप्ड अ लाइक, आई यूज दिस रिक्वेस्ट, it says 204 no content, let me refresh it। भैया की पोस्ट उड़ गई है आई गेस, है ना? ओ रे 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 रे, भैया की पोस्ट ही उड़ गई। चलो इन भैया की सारी पोस्ट डिलीट मारते हैं, आई एम लाइकिंग इट। देखो बहुत मजा आ रहा है। लाइक इट, जस्ट कैप्चर इट एंड यू, इट्स रियली क्रिटिकल बग। मैं मस्ती मस्ती में करी जा रहा हूँ गाइस, बहुत क्रिटिकल बग है ये। ये लो भैया की दूसरी पिक्चर भी गई, सारी फोटोज भैया की डिलीट करते हैं। ये वाली पिक भी डिलीट करते हैं, बिल्कुल अच्छे नहीं लग रहे आथू। ये वाली का भी लिया नंबर, डिलीट इट। ओके भैया, बाय बाय। दैट्स इनफ गाइस। वो उस बंदे को बेचारे को नींद नहीं आनी है, हो क्या रहा है। एंड दैट्स इट गाइस। अब इसको देख के ना मेरे मन में एक और चीज भी आई कि if I can use this particular thing to delete someone's account, how critical it would be. If I click on delete account, I want to capture the request of delete account. Then I would see how exactly it works. अब इन delete account request वो भी end point कुछ ऐसा ही होगा जिसमें it would have, अब इसमें we don't have an ID, but if in this particular thing also we might have had an ID, it would be equally sensitive। अभी तो बहुत bugs मिल सकते थे इस particular application में, but I don't want to do that। I want to contact the company so that I must tell them that yeah, that's the thing। LMK app, I am a responsible person। सर डिलीट को रिकवर भी किया जा सकता है या नहीं? यार रिकवर तो बाद की बात है, हमने तो अपना काम कर दिया। टू वेरी ऑनेस्ट, हैकर्स को कोई लेना देना नहीं है कि क्या किया जा सकता है क्या नहीं किया जा सकता। यार आप देखो उसकी पोस्ट डिलीट कर पा रहा हूँ मैं, इससे गंदा क्या हो सकता है? अभी तो और भी बहुत होगा, अभी तो हमने ध्यान से देखा नहीं। ऑलराइट गाइस, उनको बोल दिया है सर। इंस्टा पे भी यार, इंस्टा की सिक्योरिटी बहुत अच्छी है। होने को तो किस में भी हो सकता है, बग्स तो यार हर जगह होते हैं, बट या अब इसमें बहुत बग्स होंगे. मैं माई परस्पेक्टिव ऑफ टेलिंग ऑल दीज थिंग्स वॉज टू मेक यू अंडरस्टैंड गाइस कि नो एप्लीकेशन इज सेफ. कुछ चीज़ सेफ नहीं होती. इट्स जस्ट योर माइंड सेट, हाउ यू हंट फॉर थिंग्स. माई पर्पज ऑफ टेलिंग वॉज दैट. अभी उसमें मे बी हो सकता है आई कैन take over the account of any person even in this particular app. There might be numerous bugs on this particular thing. क्योंकि अभी तो मैंने स्टैटिक एनालिसिस भी नहीं करा उस पर्टिकुलर एप्लीकेशन का. आई डिडंट इवन चेक द लॉग्स. देयर माइट बी इनसेंसिटिव information storage, right? There might be a lot of other things as well. So I didn't check that for now, but there might be other things as well. If you have some doubt, Gaurav, you can ask me if you have any doubt. All right, thank you for your time. You may leave. Thank you, Gaurav. See you tomorrow.